Hey guys, good morning, welcome to the live session of Stocks Network Trading. My name is Dave, guys, my partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US 30, sell, okay? I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please, secure.
Hey guys, good morning, welcome to the live session of Stocks Network Trading. My name is Dave, guys, my partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US 30, sell, okay? I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please, secure. Hit the record and let's get going, guys, okay? Okay, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining Stock Sniper Trading. My name is Ron. My partner is Dave, and it is 12 p.m. Eastern. It is noontime. I hope everyone's had a good lunch, had a good morning, and we're ready to see how post New York is trading, and maybe we can see a setup during this session. Okay, guys, so hope everyone's having a great day. We're going to get into the markets. And tomorrow, just to mention, tomorrow morning, we're going to get bright and early, 6 a.m. Eastern. We're going to get started and we're going to go into Wall Street. Okay, so that's for tomorrow. Hopefully you guys can join us tomorrow. And it is a Friday, so we'll see how everything goes. Okay, so let's go over some news right now, everything before we get into the charts. Forex Factory over here, there was quite a bit of news today. Coming out of 7 a.m. Eastern, the UK, we had Bank of England Governor Bailey speak, high impact red folder. We got into our 8:30 news. We had our US red folder, final GDP quarter over quarter. We had our weekly unemployment claims. Came out pretty good. Look at the numbers. Okay, so last week was 246,000. They were forecasting just a slight decrease to 244,000. The number is lower and it's green, meaning less individuals are applying for unemployment week over week. So that's good. That's what we want to see in the US economy. We want to get this unemployment as low as possible, and maybe then interest rates can come down and the entire economy can recover and we keep on trucking forward. Okay, so that's good. Good numbers came out. Core durable goods also very positive, from 0.1 was their forecast, came out really nice, 0.5%, good increase on the core durable goods. Also the durable goods orders month over month. So remember, there's that word core. Core always means something, and in this it excludes transportation on items. So this entire durable goods is a change in total value of new purchase orders placed with manufacturers. Okay, so that's really good in the manufacturing industry. We also have our durable goods. From 8.6% was our forecast, almost doubled to 16.4%. So that's really good. That's good for the US dollar. And continuing to go through the news here, we went into 8:45. There were some FOMC speakers. This was a session earlier morning with Dave. You guys did really well there. And continuing into Wall Street, and then post Wall Street right over here, you got US pending home sales. Again, pretty good numbers. Their forecast was 0.2%. It actually came out 1.8% positive. So that's looking good. Pending home sales. That's maybe to give us a little foreshadowing on how the home sales are going in the United States. And our session this afternoon, you can see we're going to have at 1:15 p.m. Eastern, we're going to have an FOMC member bar speaking. And then in Europe at 2:30 p.m., probably after our call wraps up, you have the ECB President Lagarde speaking. Okay. And then if you're going to do some, last night we did a live Tokyo session. It was a fantastic session. We did a thorough top-down analysis on gold, and we kind of walked into a beautiful buy that ran about 60 plus pips with zero drawdown. So that was last night. Again, guys, if you're going to trade a futures session, just understand that there is some news coming out of Japan at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Okay, Tokyo core CPI year over year, Tokyo's unemployment rate, and their retail sales year over year. Okay, so that's the news, and then tomorrow we'll get back into the markets tomorrow morning. Earnings today in the pre-market, we had Acuity Brands, we had Walgreens, McCormick Company, We had a blockchain Hive company over here. In the after hours today, we have Nike. Okay, so 4:15, Nike will be reporting. That can also report on consumer spending. If you shop at Nike, I shop there quite often. So I want to see how retails are spending their money. Are they continuing to purchase things at Nike? Forward guidance and things like that. So that will tell us a little bit about retail consumers. Also, you have American outdoor brands, okay? So that's earnings this afternoon. And tomorrow morning, there's just one company right here, Apogee, okay? Yahoo Finance, just some late breaking news, anything going on right now. Canada home prices to fall 2% as trade war hits buyer confidence. I hope this comes down lower because I'm in the market to look to buy some properties. So hopefully I can get a good discounted buy, but I'm still patiently waiting on that. So remember, if you're patient, good things come to those that are patient. So in trading, timing the housing market's not easy, but if you're patient and you're disciplined and you time that market properly, you could do really well. So it's also trading is an investment too, and also investing in real estate, rental homes, flipping homes, renovating your own home adds value to your home, all of these things. So there is time and place for everything, and hopefully the housing market will be dropping, and if you're prepared for it, you can capitalize on that. So think about that, guys. There's a lot of opportunities out there for everybody, not just with trading. Okay, guys, so right now in our Discord channel, we're going to see if we got buy right here. So gold above 33.20, so 3,320 is already running for 45 pips right now. So we're going to continue to watch this area on this afternoon's call. So above 3,320 could also pull back, and we're looking to use this zone as an area of support, okay? So that's what we got going on in the signals. And let's just continue moving forward, guys. On Telegram, everyone on YouTube, thank you guys for joining. I appreciate you guys. There is a Telegram, free Telegram channel that's pinned at the top of the channel for you guys. It's all of this right over here. So this was us yesterday in our live future session. Right over here. So this is what we had. We had this little 5-minute downtrend marked down. That was the daily low. So you can see the 5-minute candles broke the daily low, and we started to build these two impulse breaks. We were doing our charting. So those impatient buyers got stuck in there and maybe got stopped out down here. But we waited for that first physical body to close above, and we saw the actual retest of the green zone when we flipped it red to green with this body closing, and we took our buy right there with zero drawdown, and it just started to continue to move all the way up and hit that daily high, which it did break out for a new daily high, and then it reversed all the way back down to where we entered. So we used our 80-20 rule where we secured 80%, left 20% running, and it was a fantastic trade there. If you guys joined us, it was a great trade. Also, Dave this morning, right over here with all of the snipers in Zoom, caught this nice sell right here at 3,325 and caught a few pips on the push down. So congrats to everybody that caught the move, and let's just continue moving forward, guys. Scheduling tomorrow. Okay, so what I just talked about tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. and we're going to go to about 9:30 tomorrow morning. So join us if you guys can. Okay, if you want to join the team at Stock Sniper Trading, visit our stocksnipertrading.com, and there's free blogs available for everybody. We're going to start posting more now that everything is back to normal. Renovations are completed, and we're going to get back to our regular scheduled programming. Okay, so we're going to get started with gold. We're going to do a top-down analysis, and then we're also going to do US 30. So we'll have two charts, and we'll see how everything is going. Okay. Also, news-wise, there's some news over here on Financial Juice. So Trump to appear on Fox News Sunday morning. So remember, Sunday morning. Think about that. If Trump is on Fox News Sunday morning, he could say a few things, and that could impact how the markets open up over the weekend. So just keep that in mind. We'll see if we see any breaking news on our session right now. Okay. So let me just bring this up a little bit so everyone on YouTube can see. There we go. Okay, so welcome everyone on Zoom. Thank you guys for joining. I appreciate you guys. Lady Stone, hope you're having a great day today. Welcome Samuel again. Nandima, welcome. Lukeman, thank you for joining. BB, welcome. Dale, good afternoon. Thanks for joining. Bruce, welcome. SSDN, welcome guys. Dennis, thank you for joining. Nice room. Dennis, you're just a few minutes away. You're welcome to come in here and have a drink and a smoke with me if you would like, and we can talk some charts in here. So thank you, Dennis. I appreciate it. And everyone on YouTube, thank you guys for joining as well. Welcome, Flint. Thank you for joining. Adnan, welcome. Alex, thank you for joining. Sandra, welcome. Rid, Ninwa, Furwa, Alex, thank you guys all for joining. Okay, so let's get in with gold. We're going to start off on the daily. Okay, so we're going to do a top-down analysis. We did a nice thorough one yesterday in our future session, but let's just go over if you missed our session yesterday. So we have this higher time frame that we're on the daily, so you can see it's pushing up, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. All-time high right up there, 3,500. Okay, so everyone should have that marked on their charts and know all about that. That's our all-time high we hit on April 22. Since then, we pushed all the way down. That's our most recent low off of the all-time high, 3,121. That was May 15. So we can mark right there our highs and lows, our all-time high and our most previous low. So you can see where the volume right now on the daily is. It's kind of consolidating right kind of in the middle from the all-time high and that most recent low. So we got some consolidation. We could definitely continue to move up 3,400, maybe 3,450, take out these highs and maybe revisit that all-time high. But right now, since we hit that all-time high, we've got a lot of pressure pushing gold down. Right over here, we had that double top from the all-time high. We've marked this zone for multiple weeks and months now, and just continue with the strategy of stretching it into the future and watch how it plays out. So if we continue into the future, we did come in here on the beginning of June, and you can see it got rejected out of there. We came right back in there. We closed really strong in the middle of June 13, on that Friday. Then over the weekend there was some news, and then gold continued pushed right back down. So we were trading in that zone, in that supply zone. Nothing really materialized up here to take us back to the all-time high, and you can see how they're making lower highs off of it, and we're continuing to push down. So stretch this big red box into the future, because it could play out again. If the buyers come in here, it could get rejected and back down, unless the buyers can push it and close it above here, similar like this setup right over here, but catch a wick in here and continue to move back up. So now that we have our supply zone, we can definitely find our demand zone. We were using this zone for those multiple weeks and months, and we're going to continue to use this zone. Why? Because it's still in play. Here was a bullish flag pattern that took us to the all-time high. When you stretch it into the future, you can see from the all-time high, that sell-off, that pullback came right into the green zone. That's what got us started right back up to the double top with all of that momentum, and sellers were there pushing it down. So this is our range. They did, in fact, sellers break it below here, close it below. We did push down. That's why I have that orange line marking that most recent low there. But you can see how it was building, and the buyers were making higher lows. Ignited bullish bar, another higher low. We were barcoding bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish. That sideways consolidation, the accumulation, both buyers and sellers were accumulating at this point, but the buyers won. The buyers brought it back above here and closed it above, and we continued to push, pull back. This zone you can still see is green. We have not came back into this, and since then we have a higher low, we have a higher low, and we also have a higher low today. So this zone is still demand in the market. We may revisit this at another time, and if we get down here, we're gonna follow our rules and see if it bounces. We could look for buys. If the sellers can close it below, we'll flip it, and then if it gets rejected, we might be pushing down to take out this low. Okay, and then now just some most recent daily candles. Let's start to go with these doji bars. This was kind of last week, Friday. We opened Monday, little inside day, not much going on. But the big day this week was Tuesday. You can see out of all of the days, there's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and today's daily candle, which is going to close in less than 5 hours. Which one of these candles has a larger volume in the candle. It's this one right here on Tuesday. So we can start to analyze this candle. What I do is I always look around 50% of it. Okay, so we can grab our Fibonacci tool from the opening price to the closing price right there on Tuesday. We can identify exactly where's 50%. And I use a yellow line for any daily points of interest. That's a daily point of interest, yellow line. And what I also do is one standard deviation above on the Fibonacci and one standard deviation below. It's either your 382 or 618, depending if you have them reversed, but it's going to be one of those numbers, okay? I'm not too focused on the numbers. I'm focused on the zone. So what I do is I make my zone, okay? I'm going to make it neutral real quick just to show you how to identify the zone. There is the zone, okay? Now I ask, is the volume below? It did in fact close below. So that is going to be a red zone. And if I push it into the future, I can see today we broke above it, got rejected, and the volume is still below it, okay? So now that I have my zone, it's continuing following this bearish leg. From here it made a lower low, lower high, a new lower low, a lower high, a new lower low, and we've got a lower high today, okay? So we're still pushing down, and you can see the volume is below the red zone still, so we have sellers that could continue to push this move down. Now let's mark some critical points of interest on our daily candle today and yesterday. So I can see where we closed yesterday. We closed right here and we opened. So it's right at the red zone, okay? If you want to place a yellow line in there, you're more than welcome to. But if you don't need to, you can utilize like the red, the bottom of the red box right here as a point of interest. So it's that number. We talked about this last night on our live future session. This area, 3,333. You can call it a psychological number, you can call it a magical number, you can call it whatever you want. It's 3333, okay? That's playing out right now. So that's where we closed yesterday, that's where we opened. Were we bullish? We were bullish when we opened gold today. It continued to push. We took out Wednesday's high. We continued to push up. We came right at the top of our zone, and you can see they impulsively broke it out. So it did squeeze its head up there. That's our high of the day. So I use a purple line for our high of the day, but I can still see today. Look at the psychological number of our high of the day on gold, 3,350 and 25 cents. Doesn't get any more psychological than that. And it got rejected back down. So there's still this majority of selling pressure still pushing down. And look at, they absorbed all of those buyers, and we can see by the wick right now how it's all exhausted, and the sellers came back down to where we opened, and they flipped the candle bearish where it was a big shooting star coming all the way down. We took out yesterday's low, and we have a new low in the market at around 3,309 and 75 cents. So that's our low of the day. It is in fact higher than Tuesday, so it is building a little bit a higher low, and now the buyers are pushing it right back up, but we have this bearish volume still left in the candle. So our candle today is a bearish spin top. It looks like it's a 50-50 candle, but we have to give the majority with this bearish volume. So I would call it maybe a 55-45 split, maybe a 60-40, that the sellers are still in control, but still some indecision. So we're going to see, can the buyers have momentum to push it right back to the opening price, that 3,333. Currently we're at 3,326. So that would be about 70, 80 pips to get back up there. And then when they trade, they're trading right back in this red zone. Will the sellers be there to absorb them and push it back down? Or are the sellers going to start pushing all the way back down into here? So if they come back down to the low of the day and we break, just typically we're going to revisit our Tuesday low right here and our weekly low. So I put a yellow line there for reference. If it comes down there, 3,295 could be an area that finds buyers. You can see when we came down there on Tuesday, you can see right over here, we almost had tweezer bottom lows on the daily. It was in fact just a little higher low than this wick right here on Monday, June 9. So if you're looking for a zone again, if it keeps breaking, you're looking to come into 50% of this bullish candle right over here. I'm just going to guess where it is, right around there, because the volume is not close there, so I don't have to be 100% accurate, but you can see the number too, 3,260. So Nice whole number too. Okay, now we're just kind of consolidating. If we look at the last 3 days of volume, we're kind of stuck right in here. Could form a bearish flag pattern on the daily, and we could continue to push down. Okay, but right now you can see the volume is kind of consolidating right below this supply block above us. Okay, now do we have a trend? We're in a little bit of a downtrend, but overall we have an uptrend. Okay, so if we just look for the last 2 weeks, we're trending down, but if we look 3-4 weeks ago, we look 2 months, 3 months out, it's bullish. Okay, so right now what we could see is, what I see is, I see a move like this where it came up, we got rejected, one top, we're coming back down, we're finding a little bit of support. Can the buyers bring it back, maybe above here, flip this, maybe retest this? It's an inverted block, maybe to we make it green, and then buyers could push it right back and trade back into this red all-time high supply up here, maybe come all the way up for a double top. However, this could just continue to push down, and then we're targeting our low of the day, maybe those kind of tweezer bottom lows, and then start dropping down to our yellow point of interest right here, and maybe back down into the green zone. This is where there's a lot of pending buyers waiting in here at 3,220. That could be where we could look for a nice swing opportunity, buy side, if it does come down there. Okay, now what we got to do is kind of dissect today's daily candle in the hourly increment. So let's drop to the 1H, 1 hour now. Now we can start to see how everything was moving. This was our session yesterday in the futures market. If you guys remember, we bought this candle at 10 p.m. And we were part of all of that bullish volume to grab our 60 plus pips. And you can see it continued to push up, and this is where we are now. So I can see what time we hit our high of the day. It was just right after London session, 4 a.m. Eastern. Here's 5 a.m. inside bar, 6 a.m. 7 a.m. they pushed it down. Here's Colmex market open. It looked like a big bullish candle. It came up there, but then it got rejected, and look at where it closed. It closed near the low. So that's where what I mean, guys. If you're trading a candle and you don't wait for it to close, you could be part of an impulse move. Okay, and then we see it kind of consolidate at 9 a.m. That's when we hit our low of the day, and slowly we're pushing up right now. Okay, so if I look at this kind of overall hourly channel we're in, it is still bearish, but right now I see a low, I see a higher low, I see a high, and I see a higher high. So it is technically, we are pushing up, but the sellers still have control because they have this block in the market, and we are still pushing down on higher time frames. Okay, so what we need to find now is there some hourly points of interest. I would say right here where we've got a body and a body right here, I'm going to place a white line right here on my charts, and that's where if it comes back down here around 3,318, it could be hourly support, and we could find another bottom there. So right now it came down, it broke impulsively, but it's building higher lows. The concentrated volume is right there at the white line, so we are coming up right now, but we might have a reaction right here at the yellow line, the daily point of interest 3333. Maybe it pushes a little higher into half of it around 3,340, or maybe at the top, or maybe at the high of the day. I'm going to assume that there might be a neckline like right around here, and then if it gets rejected back down, we could see it come back down. Maybe will it pick a higher low, or will it come back and double bottom at this hourly support and protect the low of the day, and then maybe we would have like a double bottom coming back up and then to break. However, it could just come back down here, close, retest that static white line. Now it's resistance, and then we could be pushing down, sellers push it down, take a low of the day, and then we're dropping down to 3,295. So right now, just basing off of the last 2 hours, we have at 11 a.m. a nice bullish ignited hourly candle that closed right near the high, kind of engulfed those two bars, and then now opening this hour at 12 p.m. we came down just a little bit. So also what I can do is I can figure out where 50% of this volume is right in here. I could figure out my hourly zone as well, based off of this bullish candle right there. This one right here, I'm talking about 11 a.m. There's 50%. Okay, I could also find my zone a little bit above and a little bit below. If it does in fact come back in here, I could be technically looking to buy a pullback in here. So I'm going to make it green, and that could be my hourly point of interest. If it does pull back, what I'm saying, guys, is if it does pull back, it comes bearish, bearish, bearish into here, that might be an opportunity that we look for a pullback buy to continue to take it up. However, if the sellers do close it below there, then that zone, we flip it red. Okay, I'm just taking you through the motions, and then it could come up to retest and gets rejected, and then we're pushing back down. Okay, so that's an interesting area to watch for. So right now the volume is above us, so I'm going to assume that this is supporting this move that we have for the last few hours. And now we've filled this candle, we filled that wick. So now we're going to see if we can continue to drive up to this point of interest where that body closed at 7 a.m. and this one opened at 8 a.m. That's also COMEX exchange open. So this is a very important time in the day for gold. Okay, so right now we're moving. We could cut this candle when it closes in 35 minutes to figure out where 50% of this bullish volume is. Okay, so now I'm just going to bring it down to the lower time frames. We're going to go to the 5 minutes, and this is what we got cooking on the 5 minutes. Look at that nice little higher low double bottom off of the low of the day on the 5 minutes. So this right here is a nice little 5-minute block right there. You can see how it pushed. It took out that high, made a new high, then it came all the way right back down, right into that zone. Again, bullish ignited bar at 1040 hold. So let's stretch that 5-minute zone into the future, and you can see again they came right back up, they closed it above. We had this, look at these consolidation. So that's a nice bullish flag that took about approximately almost an hour to consolidate right here, but a nice bullish flag, and we continued to push and get through here. So this area right here where there's wicks, I'm going to place a line right here. Okay, and you can see at those wicks it's representing 50% of this bullish candle right now at 1220. So this red line could act as support. If you guys are already in buys, if we come back and retest this and hold, we could push to get back up to that 3333 area. If it does break, we could be looking for buys in our green zone right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place an alert. If it comes back down and retraces back down to 3,321 in here, I'm going to have an alert. SST, we alerted you guys at 3,320 over here on gold. So just looking at it right here, remember what we said. Here's that setup. There's what I just drew. That green box, stretch it across. There was the break, came back down, and that little flag pattern, and continued to go right back up. So this area 3,320 was identified for you guys and looked like a great possibility to enter a buy, and it's moving almost 100 pips right now. Okay, so it's continued push. Look at the bars now on these 5-minute bars. Okay, ignite, push, close right near the high with no wick. Next bar opened, ignited. There's no wick to pop, so it's just one of those nice Marabuzzo candles, just pushing, pushing, pushing. It broke those highs. Look at how it closed. It closed 99.9% right to the high. There's a tiny, tiny shadow, tiny wick. Look how the next bar opened, 1225. Bullish ignited, popped the wick and continued to drive. Now we're going into 1230 in about 3 minutes. So I always warn everybody, when we go into the 30 minutes or the 1 hour, you always have to be aware that markets could rotate and change momentum. So if you are in a buy on this, I highly recommend that you definitely manage your risk by going to reducing your stop loss and ultimately get to a break even if you can. You could also have a trailing stop loss, moving in profit. If it comes back down, you lock in those profits. Also, you could use some sort of taking partials out of the market. I use an 80-20 rule. I take out 80%, leave 20% running. There's other traders that use a 60-40, 50-50, whatever you want to do. It's up to you. But don't just leave money on the table and not do anything. Okay, so what I'm also going to do is make a block right here to see if this block will hold right in here. Okay, so I'm giving myself like a zone. I'm not just giving myself just 50%. I'm giving myself a zone where that ignited bar opened. I want to see if it pulls back in here, and then it's ready to continue to take to go up. Okay, we can add some indicators on our charts as well. RSI, you can see, is approaching 70. But we're taught that when it hits 70, it's overbought and then we should automatically sell. That's not always the case, because sometimes when it gets above 70, it's in an area of strength and it could keep driving, and then it squeezes the short sellers and then keeps going into here. So we may see a possible short squeeze and continuing to break above here. Okay, so let's just watch how we're going into 12:30. We'll watch this for about 5-10 minutes and then I'll do Dow Jones for us. Okay. If there's any questions, let me know. Am I talking fast? Probably. I had a couple coffees. You got to get used to when I talk fast. That's why. Get used to it. I do talk fast. Okay. A lot of coffee. Okay. A lot of caffeine. I only sleep 3-4 hours a day, so I need that coffee. Okay. Right now I got a Gatorade. That's keep cooling me down right now. But yeah, we need coffee. I'm gonna have an espresso machine right over here too. I'll be making espressos live for you guys. Live espressos. Okay, so Zoom, are you guys in a buy right now on gold? It's working out beautiful, beautiful. So you know what I always say, guys, double bottoms, okay? So it came down right here, one bottom. There's our bigger neckline, okay, right up there. This was also a neckline right here. But look at when it came down. Did it physically double bottom? No, you got that higher low right above there. So it continued to push up. We closed above. A bullish flag right on top of that green box. Look at how all the wicks came down, back up, came down, back up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And we then accumulated. Remember, this is an accumulation of two parties, buyers and sellers. But the buyers won and continued to squeeze. Why? Because those sellers have stop losses all above here and kept pushing up, pushing up, pushing up. We closed above here, so we might come back down to retest this. Maybe we hold, maybe like a double bottom here or another bullish flag pattern, and we're continuing to drive into here. Okay, if we do drive into that big red zone, okay, it's a rather large red zone. We do have some structure right in here. You see here when it was trading, it came down. If I was to draw a support line somewhere right around here, where would I draw it? I would draw it right here, or a support box like right there. See how it came down, back up, came down, back up, came down, back up, came down. We pushed higher, but then they brought it down, so stretch that. There's that body that closed below. So that same zone, when that happened, make it red. I know it's getting a lot of zones here, a red one inside a red one, but I'm just trying to show you the 5-minute structure. Remember, this zone was on a much larger time frame, so we're focusing on the 5 minutes. So when we cut it across, this was kind of a fake out with those buyers brought it back above there, but then they couldn't push for a new high. Those sellers came in and engulfed them real hard at 8:30. So that's when there was news, right? News moves the markets. We had 8:30 news. There was, look at Forex Factory. Did we have news at 8:30? Yes. U.S. final GDP quarter over quarter and our unemployment claims. That's good for the U.S. dollar. I told you, positive, positive, positive. So what did that do for gold? It sold gold off and started that big leg all the way coming down. So this zone now, the volume is right here. If it does come back in here, that could be where the sellers are waiting. You see how it was support and now turned into resistance. And if I look at my Ronny tool, we bring it on this big bar that started that big move, bring it where it opened, where did it close, and look at 0.5 is right there, 3,338. Look at one standard deviation above is that zone that I just did, and one standard deviation below is you could open it up a little bigger, right down to that 618 if you want. So what I mean is, if you want to open up that zone a little more, right there. Now you have that golden zone, okay? Inside that red supply on a higher time frame. So if you're in a buy, okay, if you're in a buy and it comes all the way up into here, you gotta assume that those sellers are there to push it back down, right? So if you gotta move like that, you can't get too greedy. Okay. Yes, it could break and continue to drive, but we still have to respect that zone in the market. It's a critical zone up there. Okay. So just stretch those again in the future. What I like to do is I place an alert in there. I just place in a line, right click, alert. Absolutely. I might be just hanging around in this room if I wasn't Zooming with you guys and I wasn't on YouTube with you guys. But if the volume comes up there, I'm doing my thing here. It comes up there. I'll get an alert. That doesn't mean I just jump in and just buy or sell. I watch what happens up here. Maybe it's an impulse break. Sellers bring it back down. It comes in there. There's my lower high M top. And then maybe I get my sell to push it right back down to this green box. Just like here, you had a higher low W pattern and started that strong leg right now. That could be where it starts a lower high M pattern and starts a strong sell leg coming down. Okay, so patterns repeat themselves. You just got to get used to what you're looking for. Okay, so I can patiently wait for that volume to come up there. I don't have to trade this candle right away. I can wait for if it gets up there. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it just trades in here. I could buy off of this. Maybe sellers close it below here. We make that red, and then I get that sell leg coming back down into there. If I get those counter trade pips right there, then I do something, because when it comes in there, that's where those pending buyers could be waiting to take it back up. So it all depends on what you're looking for when you're trading. Just like when I was renovating this room, I had a tape measure on my tube belt, and I was measuring everything to cut all these acoustic boards. Precision. Look at those cuts, guys. Ron doesn't even do this professionally, but I trade professionally. So I'm used to using this tool right here, the measuring that zone. From the top of this green box right now, if you're continuing to buy right up to that point of interest, it's 43.7 pips exactly. If I look for maybe a sell below here and coming back down to that, I measure it. It's 50 pips exactly. So if I get in a sell and it comes down there, I have to do something. That's point A to point B, what I'm looking at. And then you can start to reduce risk. You can take some profit. You can leave runners. Definitely if we break and it continues to fall, yeah, you can. But there's most likely going to be a reaction in here, okay? Samuel, I was taught that too by my grandfather too, and also my dad. I was taught by, you were taught by your granddad, measure twice, cut once. Absolutely. I measure 5 times before I cut. I measure, I take so much time measuring, but one cut. Okay, guys, so gold, looking good. Do I want to sell right now? Not particularly. I don't see any selling structure. Like if it gets in a red box, maybe. But look at how it's just single bars continuing to move. Sellers tried to sell there. They got engulfed by those buyers. This candle right here at 1225, sellers were pushing it down. Buyers are keep bringing it up with higher highs. So it's not particularly at a good area to sell right now because it's still pushing up. I need to see like a bearish engulfing candle close below something in order to even consider selling, or I have to consider it when it gets in this bigger red box. Otherwise, this could just keep maybe a higher low pullback and continue to drive. Okay, we could be looking to just maybe buy, but I don't want to particularly buy the highs. I want to wait for maybe something inside here. Okay, so I can place another alert inside this zone. I could wait for maybe a possible pullback and buy here around 3,328. Okay. Do you guys want me to stay with gold, or would you like me to do US 30 right now? I can do a faster US 30 analysis. This was a full analysis on gold. What I can do here is, this is another style of doing an analysis. We already have the daily candle looking good. So what we can do is we can add our SST daily bar indicator right here. And this is our daily candle right now. So I can see when we opened, and our low of the day is like kind of right over here. And we have a big bullish candle right now. Okay. So I can definitely mark my low of the day right there with my purple line. And I can see where we opened, buyers are in full control, pushing it up, pushing it up, pushing it up, pushing it up. Look, we're trading right now at the high of the day, Okay, so right there, that's our purple line. Okay, now what I can see is I'm on the 5 minutes, but I can definitely see a lot of structure from this purple line to this purple line. Where is there a lot of structure? Right here. Look where it came up and it just stopped right there. There was a pivot right there. So if we identify that right there, so let's stretch it into the future and look at where it is. You see right there, this is a part of our daily bar indicator. This is the Fibonacci 0.5, the psychological midpoint of the entire range. From the low to the high, there's 50%. So what I could do is, and you see that zone where I just grabbed off of that location right there, stretching it into the future, that's a good point of control. If it ever comes back down here, I want to be a buyer there. I want to buy that pullback. There's probably a lot of buyers waiting in that zone right there to possibly buy a pullback. But you see, it's continuing to make highs, higher highs, pulled back, higher low. A new higher high, pull back, higher low. Driving now with a new higher high at the high of the day. So you see my purple line? I don't see anything above me. Go to the left of the chart. Purple line, purple line, purple line. I have nothing on the 5 minutes. Go to the 15 minutes. Purple line, nothing. Go to the 30 minutes. Purple line. There we have volume above the purple line. We can find structure on the 30 minutes. I can look at the date. Last time we've been up here was March 3. And it was end of February, early March. Last time volume has been trading up here. We're almost near the all-time high on US 30. NASDAQ already broke an all-time high. US 30 is a little bit lagging behind, but maybe it will eventually catch up here. Is there something where we can place a line? What about, I don't know, right about here. I'll place a white line, okay, where it came up here, where it came down. Look at the wick. Back down, wick, back down. Here we had volume close above. Look at how it retested it as support right here. Continuing right there. Look at where that candle closed and the push down. Look at when it came right back up to the white line. Resistance, back down. This body closed. We continued to push higher. Right there, that body closed below. When it came up, rejection, rejection, rejection. Right close to that white line. So that is right here. You see, if we continue driving, make new highs, that's going to be a point of interest. 43,520, right up there, or 525. Okay, that would be a point of interest if it continues to go up there. On our 5 minutes, that's what it looks like. Okay, now inside here, you see right here, this pullback, we're holding good support right over here. Okay, so let's base it off of this high when that was Wall Street's high, like 940, 945 was resistance. They pivoted it back down. Let's continue with that zone. There was a nice bullish bar at 1030. Look at it, closed above 50% pocket right there. You see how it came right back in, bullish ignited bar, continue drive. How about stretching this again into the future? Look at those last two pullbacks right there, back up. That one tapped into there and continued to drive. So now I have another pullback area. Okay, this one is the better one. This one is bigger because it's from a higher time frame. But if we do get this pullback right in there, we could look to buy and continue to drive it up. If it doesn't hold this one, that's the better opportunity to buy. If I could choose to buy from here or here, definitely I would like to buy from here. Okay, so what we can do is place an alert. If it gets down to us this afternoon, we could be looking to buy that, add an alert. Okay, and then we'll add another alert in our better zone down here. And we're looking for buys in there. We want to buy pullbacks. We're on a bullish trending day. Look at this big daily candle. Do you want to sell against this big daily candle? There could just be small dips and buyers are continuing to drive this candle, okay? So we're not going to look for sells yet on US 30. We have to watch what could happen around this high of the day. Okay, so just, is there some momentarily support right now? Right here. See right there, there's a body still holding. In order to sell, or if you're considering a sell, maybe it gets rejected here at the high of the day, comes back down, closes below there, maybe retest this. That might be an opportunity to sell. But when you're selling, just mind you, you're selling where the buyers are waiting right there, and you're selling where the bigger buyers are waiting right there. So if you get in a sell like that, again, take your measuring tool, you're counter trading, but it's okay. It could come down there. That's about almost a 100 pip move. It's 75, 85, 90, almost 100 pips just come down there. That's someone's daily goal right there. So if it comes down, don't get carried away and just think it's going to just break this entire daily candle and drop down here unless there's some significant news in the market, because you could sell for 50, 60, 100 pips, close your trade where the buyers are, because it could come right back up. Okay, so we'll watch this. Right now, I can see that the volume is kind of consolidating right at the high of the day, and where that 5-minute structure is right there, we are now in a consolidated flag. It could be a bullish flag, continue just to trade sideways, and they break it out for a new daily high. So we'll watch that with US 30. Okay, we got alerts. We're going back to gold. Look at gold. Gold is still driving. Okay, so were you guys okay with the US 30 chart? Okay, so, and then if we look at the channel, what type of channel are we in? Let's place our parallel channel. Okay, try and get as many touches as you can, and look at that. Okay, so we are in upward channel. Let's just change the color because I love colors. Okay, let's make it green. That's telling us we are in a bullish channel right now. See how it came, this big candle printed at 9:30, that was Wall Street. We came up, there's the resistance. There's where we got to the top of the channel. That's where it pushed right back down. We came to a higher low, the bottom of the channel. Buyers were there, they continued to break it up. Look at where it came up to. Another top of the channel, got rejected, it came back down. Where? To a support zone and the bottom of the parallel support channel. And we're continuing to drive. Right now, you see the dotted lines, okay? That's our upper channel, that's our lower channel. These are the dotted lines. That's the psychological midpoint of the channel. When I always say 50%, that's 50% of this channel, okay? So you see now, we're no longer getting some bullish volume above those dotted lines. So this is where sellers now are in the market and might push it back down. It could break, and if it breaks, we could be coming down to the channel again. If that could be just like a minor break, where sometimes it impulsively breaks there, and then it'll come up to retest and maybe hold and then do something like that. Okay, that's where we gotta watch we don't get faked out if we sell. To confirm a valid sell, we got to kind of close with volume below the green channel, maybe come up and retest, then it pushes down. Then we got the volume underneath the channel, then they could possibly push it down, because then we break the trend. But right now, it's still trending bullish. Okay, so we can respect this trend. We're looking for pullback buys. With gold, again, it's in a channel in itself. It's a very parabolic channel. But right now, we finally got some resistance pushing down. Will it come back up? Will we get two tops, then a sell-off? Or will it just flag and we continue pushing bullish inside here? Okay. Josephat, trading is all about planning. Absolutely, trading is all about planning. Yeah, last night, if you guys can rewatch the YouTube live that we did, we uploaded it to the website for everyone on Zoom. It's time-stamped. I believe it was 1 hour and 19 minutes in where we took the trade. But if you can have some time this weekend to watch the preparation, what led into that trade, how we did a nice thorough top-down analysis on the daily, the hourly, the 5 minutes, and we caught that trade beautiful with zero drawdown, and it ran 60 plus pips during the call. So, but we took an hour to plan that trade, right? So it takes time, guys, but a good plan will yield good results. A poor plan will give you piss poor results. It's all up to your planning, Anytime you're renovating the home, you got to have a good plan. One of the big things I added in the room, okay, let's keep this between us, I have a fan right above me. As soon as I get my door, it's going to be, everything will be enclosed in here. It's a glass door coming in, but I can smoke in here, guys. Okay, don't tell the wife this. She doesn't know about this. Okay, so nobody rats me out. If I'm in here and you see me smoking something, a little smoky, it's going to go right into that vent, and it's going to go right outside of the house. Okay, we were drilling right through the bricks. The wife doesn't know about this addition, so let's keep this between us. No one gets me in trouble. because then you won't see Ron here anymore. I'll be sleeping outside. No, she's not watching this, J-Dub. She's at work right now. So I can get away with it right now. But nobody rats me out, okay? We don't like rats here. No snitches. Those will be for those late night sessions. Okay, and just reading some news over here. Okay, so I already talked about Trump to appear on Fox News Sunday morning. I didn't even know about this. It was just released at noon. So, guys, if you're holding trades over the weekend, gold, crude oil, NASDAQ, US 30, just prepare for any type of gaps in the market, whatever Trump says here. Freddie Mac here, US 30-year fixed rate mortgages, 6.77% June 26th week versus 6.81 prior week. Okay, so 30-year fixed mortgage going down a little bit. That's good. Okay, what else we got here? Not much going on. Fed bids for 7-year notes, total 4.4 billion. Okay, so the Fed is buying up some treasury notes over here. Okay, see how gold is US 30 is still holding this flag right here. Okay, let's look at gold. See how it came down? Those were sellers pushing down, but the buyers are still strong, bringing it right back up. So that's what I mean. You got to be careful trying to sell this bullish move. This is a very strong leg, and it's just coming down and going right back up. It's a hammer candle looking to break this real higher time frame point of interest, this 3333. Here's the bar closing right now in 7 seconds, so we can really start to zoom in on it. Okay, so look there's no wick on it. It just opened, ignited. It's starting to now push into our red zone. Okay, from here to there is a substantial move. You can measure it all the way up there. That would be an additional 43 pips to get up there. But what about here? We have a little bit of structure that was formed today. This was when it was coming down at 730. This is when it was consolidation. Here's COMEX, 820. Okay, there was the big push. And then we had that news. Bring it all the way right back down. Is there a point of interest right here? Like if I was trading at this time, I would have definitely marked up this area. Right here, you got a body. It came up, it got rejected back down, resistance. You have a big, strong bullish candle, close, kind of right at that red line. Look at all the volume hanging out at that red line. The shooting star candle came back down, it retested it, and then see all these multi-rejections, rejection. So I would say right there, guys, 3,335, that's a point of interest for us on this 5 minutes. If it gets up there, that's where it got rejected right here prior to 9 a.m. And that's what started that huge selling leg coming down. So if it gets up there, just keep in mind, that's where selling pressure has historically been here today. So maybe it's still there. Maybe the sellers are still there. I can add EMAs on the chart as well. Our daily bar indicator. Look at our daily bar indicator, okay? So you can see we opened. We're right back at the opening price. So it was bearish, and then the buyers brought it all the way up to a high of a day, and then coming right back down. We're right back to the opening price. So it was a big swing today. Came all the way down and is coming all the way right back up. We can add EMAs if you like. Your 9 and your 200 EMA. Okay, we're above our 200. It's right here. Our 9 EMA is that green line. We're right at our 200. We may even have a bullish golden crossover where the 9 EMA crosses above the 200, and this continues to drive and squeeze shorts a little higher. Okay, so gold looks rather bullish. Okay, so it's hard to sell against this. I don't even see any 5-minute volume closing below the 200 or even the 9 EMA. So it's just pullbacks continuing to drive. US 30, it's flagging right now. We can add an EMA 9. We are still technically currently above the 9 EMA, that green line, and the 200 is all the way down here. Okay, so that's why we're looking for maybe pullback buys here or here. Okay, we've added a little poll right over here. So if you guys wouldn't mind answering it, who understood why we changed bias from sells to buys? If you understand, or no, you didn't, you're welcome to vote. We got 22 votes already. If you want to vote, and then you can understand why the bias changed today. We can help explain that. Ridmika, if you're on the call, I see that you signed up for a one-on-one. I'm gonna message you right after this call, and we'll set up a time that works for both of us. Okay, so just to let you know, we got it really late because of the time zone difference. So we didn't get this. Remember, we're sleeping when you're awake. So we just got it, but definitely we'll link up with you and we'll set it up. Okay. If you're on the call, Ridmika, we'll take care of that one-on-one. Okay, and guys, we're going into 1 p.m. in about 5 more minutes, 5 minutes and a half to be exact. So again, we might get some momentum switching, and we'll see what happens. Okay. Okay, we got some news. 12:54. Netanyahu wants to meet Trump at the White House. No date set for Netanyahu-Trump visit at the White House. Okay, so you put those two together, that creates volatility. They're probably looking for more war. Okay, so this is our final 5 minutes to close off our 12 p.m. candle. Then we go into 1. Okay, again, what I always do, I always go check real quickly. Is there any impactful news at 1 p.m.? We have at 1:15 FOMC member Barr speaking. I don't think that's going to be high impact. It's still significant news, but it's not like Powell is speaking. Okay, so it is important, but I wouldn't pay too much attention to it. Okay, see, we're still pushing up. Okay, now what we got to look for are clues. Do we have tweezer top highs? Okay, that now we have technically tweezer top highs in the market right there. So we do not have new higher high right there. They've rejected it at that equal high point. So that could give me a clue that maybe the market may technically at 1 p.m. start to push down, unless this candle pushes and creates a new high. So that's why we got to watch. There's still lots of time on this candle, less than 4 minutes. So the buyers could continue to push it up and create a new high. Okay, so we got a bearish bar pushing down, bearish pin bar. Will it close below this structure? Are we forming maybe a little flag up here? Again, right below our bigger zone, okay? And also this point of interest, this 3,333, this level right here. US 30, still kind of consolidating in here. Okay, so let's watch gold. And also keep in mind, in 30 minutes at 1:30 p.m. Eastern, COMEX closes. Okay, so COMEX is the specific exchange that gold trades on, and other precious metals such as silver trade on that. It opens from 8:20 a.m. Monday to Friday and closes at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Monday to Friday. Just like Wall Street has its exchange, it opens at 9:30 and trades till 4 p.m. Eastern. So for all gold traders, make sure you know what time the exchange opens and what time it closes at. Okay, there's still trading going on, but the main exchange closes. So you're losing a lot of that main volume. Okay, I know it's probably just reiterating the same stuff over and over because you guys do know it, but there is some traders, today might be their first day learning how to trade and they're not aware of that. So, we got to treat everybody with the same respect, but continue to just remind everyone about that time, okay? So we got less than 2 minutes. Now we got a bear shooting star candle coming down, and notice the tweezer top highs, okay? So we'll see if that plays out. Look at Ron typing over here. Look at that. Okay, so do you guys see that right there? That call out, tweezer top highs are equal highs. Okay, so we're going to see if this in fact is the start of selling pressure coming in the market, and we'll pick up on those tweezer top highs, and then we'll see if that's the start of it. Okay, and that could be one top right now in the market. Okay, where it came up. Tweezer top highs are rejecting it back down at 1 p.m. If we come back up here, maybe they reject it, then we got a double top. Then you could get that selling pressure, maybe pushing the market down, okay? So you see how strong that point of interest, yellow line is. We did our daily analysis, 3,333. Okay, and here's the close in 30 seconds. So I'm going to assume 1 p.m. will open bullish and come back up because it's coming down where maybe buyers are waiting to get in. If it does come up, I'm going to figure out where 50% of that bearish bar candle is and figure out my cut point. Whenever this candle closes, there's my cut line. I'm going to place it where I think 50% of that volume is, because that could be the resistance, okay? When the body closes, not yet. This is my cut line. Okay, when price gets too high, you need to cut it right there. Okay, so price is getting a little high, we need to cut it. There's the cut point. So you see how I just said, how it would open bullish. Okay, I assume that there's buyers waiting to get in. It shows me buyers are interested with a bullish ignited candle coming up. Will it retest that red line where I assume is 50%? And will we see sellers? Yeah, there's the wick. Now, will they absorb all those buyers and continue to push it down? So remember that opening price there. They just took out the buyers and it's a small wick. So it could definitely fill that wick and start dropping further. Then you got to fill this wick. And when you do, you're driving into 50% of this bullish candle and the 9 EMA. This is where I assume there could be a bullish neckline right around here. If it comes down there, that's where I want to, if it comes down there, if the buyers are not here, then it could go down further, okay? So if it comes down here, this might be a good opportunity to buy if it comes down in here, okay? It's representing 50% of that bullish candle at 1230. We already had one retest there. Our 9 EMA is there, and also our SST daily Fibonacci that's following. There's that psychological 50% right there. I don't know if you can see that kind of orange line right here. Okay, but you guys understand how this all kind of started? This leg coming down was because of these tweezer top highs right here and those equal highs, okay? So when I'm looking for structure now, I use those tweezer top highs as a point of interest, and I can see those most recent bodies right there. I draw a red box. I know it's a lot of red boxes, but I just want you guys to visually see if we do come up, that could be the second top up there, okay? However, buyers can close it above there. We are squeezing back up here, and we could look for buys. Okay, so you see now how they're coming a little bit above the 50%, a little bit above, a little bit below. I haven't drawn my zone. Okay. And then let's see how US 30 open. Okay, so it's still technically consolidating in here. Do you guys have any questions on Zoom? You guys understand those tweezer top highs? Okay, equal highs. So they're not allowing the market to create a new high, because that will change the entire algorithm that can change everything, the depth of market into the market. Okay, so you see how I identified that green box there? Is it worthwhile me taking a sell if it just pushes down right there? It's about 10 pips. Am I going to pip and dip out of there? Yes, it could impulsively break, but I assume that if it comes down there, there could be a reaction of buyers. So maybe I don't want to sell right there. Maybe I want to sell the second top up here. If it comes up here and then gets rejected, now you can see a nice strong bullish candle. Okay, so maybe we're identifying where there's going to be a neckline. Maybe the neckline is going to be in here. Maybe it won't be down here. Okay. Maybe let's wait out this candle. Another minute and 40 seconds to go. We're not in a rush here. We can wait for this body to close. It takes time for a trade to develop. You don't. And then if you're speculating, whether you're selling or buying in here, go small. Just test it out. If you want to buy, go small. Test it out. If it comes and closes above here and retests this, that's when you can go maybe in another buy. If you're testing out a sell right now, don't go huge selling the market, because you got to understand you're selling into pockets where buyers are waiting. We still don't have a real break of structure. The only clue we have so far are those tweezer top highs. And it could be invalidated with this big bullish candle coming up that's going to close in 1 minute. Let's watch. Is it going to break for a new high? See, that was just a 2-bar pullback. And we have a massive bullish engulfing candle that's continuing to push up. So look, let's see. Is it a triple tweezer top high? Okay. Look. Okay. So we technically have not pushed for a new high. They rejected it back down. Okay, look at it. Guys, I'm not making this up. It didn't create a new high up there so far. They've rejected it back down. Now we got 3 wicks in there. Okay, it's going to close now in 20 seconds. And if it closes right in here near the high, I assume the next candle will open bullish and break these highs and create a new high. If it opens bearish and it comes all the way down, then we definitely know that they're protecting this 33.23. Okay, so you see what I mean? It closed, it opened, ignited. Ignited bar should technically break this wick and drive. If it doesn't, we know something is up. Okay, it did technically break. There's a new high. You see it just peeked its head up. It's an ignited bar. So this could continue to squeeze sellers. So that just looks like a 2-bar pullback. Nothing really materialized. And now we could be continuing to drive on this thing. Okay, if I'm looking for maybe a pullback buy, somewhere maybe at 50% of this body. If you don't want to buy this candle right now, okay, maybe again, wait for a pullback. Okay, so you see there, they rejected it. It turned into a shooting star candle coming down. Now maybe, will it hold up at 50% there? Are we going to consolidate here? Is this going to be a bearish bar coming right back down? Then I have multi-rejections here. I know we broke that tweezer top high, okay? But now we can see an M pattern, okay? So it came up, back down. There's our neckline. Came back up a second time, rejecting back down. So there's the start of the M. We need that bearish volume to continue to push down and break and maybe there. But you see how it held with a wick at 50%, okay? So the buyers are still there. The sellers cannot break them yet, okay? So you see, this is that tug of war between buyers and sellers right now. I'm on the sidelines. I'm watching. I'm observing. I'm deciding whether I'm going to go with the buyers or the sellers here. I still don't have enough conviction. The M top is looking pretty good, but maybe I want to wait for this bar to close. Will it close below 50%? Will it engulf that entire big bar? Then I see a break of structure, M pattern. Then this block could easily break, and then we're coming down into this one. Okay. Exciting stuff going on. Exciting stuff. And US 30 is just asleep right now. Normally it's the opposite. At this time, US 30 is the one moving and gold is just watching paint dry. Actually, gold is the one moving right now. Okay, so we'll stick with gold. Hit the likes on YouTube, guys. We have over 100 viewers. Hit the likes if you're learning something. If you're having fun with us, hit the like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit those notifications, because when Ron gets this room going, I'll be streaming with you guys. London's, Tokyo's, pre-New York's, post-New York's, power hour sessions. The kids are done school. Today's their last day of school. That's why I soundproof this room for us, so you guys don't hear my kids screaming and yelling. And we can have some fun in the summer. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. And we'll see how the summer months treat us in July and August. Normally it's the dog days of summers in the financial markets, but right now there's so much going on around the world that I don't think the markets are going to take a rest this summer. I think they're going to be wild, okay? So this candle is now closing in 2 minutes. We came down. There's the 200 and the 90 EMA. We might have that bullish crossover. This could technically continue to drive further up. Okay, it's a higher low, higher low. Sellers are there, but they haven't really, broke the structure yet, and buyers are still there. Okay, so both buyers and sellers are transacting. Will they close it above here? Will we flip this little zone green, maybe to get a retest off of it, and we're continuing to buy? Okay, right now it's still consolidating. There it's bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish. And our daily candle has a lot of indecision. So our daily candle could go down, it could go up. Look, it's basically a 50-50 spin top on the daily. So this is kind of like a coin toss. We're at this area of structure. Whoever is showing more aggression can take this daily candle over. Okay, if the buyer is going to show more aggression or the seller is going to show more aggression, because this candle on the daily could very easily flip right now. Okay, so sellers are still holding this zone right here. Buyers are still holding down here. We still have the volume consolidating. If I trap all this volume, I would trap it all in here. This entire, from this red to this green, trap it all. 30 seconds to go. What do you guys think? Do you guys think gold will break this red zone and continue driving bullish? Or do you guys think gold will break kind of this green box and continue dropping? So option A, if you're bullish. Option 2 or B is if you're bearish. Option 1 is bullish. Option 2 is bearish. What do you guys got? Everybody, YouTube and Zoom. Samuel, you're still along. Bruce, bullish. Okay, I see bullish. Phil, A, bullish. Okay, so three mindsets. Tony, A. Okay, a lot of you guys are bullish. So do we just want to buy? Okay, it's an ignited candle. Okay, it's ready to go. It could definitely impulsively break out of here, but it could impulsively break out and get rejected and come back down. So do we want to go on the impulse, or do we wait for the body to close for confirmation? Okay, this is the hardest part of trading lower time frames, because it's telling us, like it's enticing us to buy. But sometimes, you see that nice big candle breaking, we buy, it comes up 5-10 pips, then it catches a wick, and then it rejects back down, closes below there. We're in that buy, we impulsively took it, and then all of a sudden it's coming down there, targeting our stop loss, or we're in drawdown. Okay, so you have to, before you take the trade, you gotta tell yourself, are you gonna wait for a retest, or you're going in on impulse? Again, if you're going in on impulse, go very small. Feeler trade, feel it out. It's like a game of chess. You move your pawn before you move your knight or your rook or your bishop or your king or your queen. You move the pawns first. So you test it out, you feel it out. Okay? So I'm still waiting here. I'm still waiting. Maybe I'm watching a bullish flag pattern, but still want to wait for some conclusive volume closing above there. Because right now I see the buyers opened, ignited, came in there, lower high, and we got sellers continuing to push it down. Now it might be completing that nice M pattern, okay? You can see how it's being built. It came up, those tweezer top highs, there's the neckline. It came up, maybe they swept the liquidity a tiny bit. It doesn't look like a big liquidity sweep, but they did break that structure, and now it's coming down. There's the M, okay? So will this body close below there and break this, and we're dropping down? This might be an insignificant zone, okay? The bigger one would be down here, but we'll watch how everything plays out, okay? So my bias right now is maybe, possibly looking to sell if they can close it below here. But every time it comes down there, the buyers are there pushing it right back up. So again, I'm waiting for this body to close, because right now, it's just kind of consolidating right there. That's kind of where all the volume is concentrated right now. It's been in here for 10, 20, 30, 40 minutes now inside here. This might be also a big, nice bullish flag pattern. The 9 now is kissing the 200. It could now cross above, and then we could get that bullish move driving right through there. And then the daily candle can flip bullish. It will be a bullish spin top, maybe turning into a bullish pin bar, and we're continuing to drive with that bullish daily volume. Buyers seem more aggressive. Okay, good analysis, good observation. Yeah, you want to figure out who's more aggressive, because remember, there's all pending orders sitting in here. They're sitting like ducks. We've got sell limits, sell stops. We've got buy limits, buy stops. We got stop losses of buyers and sellers. They're all pending orders. So who's going to be the aggressor to come and tap all of those? Where those market executions? I trade with market executions. I don't normally trade with pending orders. But if I'm patiently waiting, I'll throw a pending order in a block like right there. But when I'm at my trade station, I just trade with market executions. So I want to kind of trade with the momentum of the market, whoever the aggressor is. Okay, so coming out with White House, Press Secretary Leavitt, the U.S. will carry less NATO's burden. Allies will be strong. Okay, that's just coming out right now. Just latest news at 1:13. Remember, in another minute, we're going to get 1:15. There's an FOMC member speaking at 1:15 right here, a member Barr. I don't think it's got any high impact news, but we'll see whatever he's saying in our financial juice feed over here. Okay, so here's the close, and then we got a new 15-minute candle. If we want to look at the 15-minute candles, this is what we got going on the 15s. Okay, nice, that big bullish leg. Now the 15-minute candles are consolidating, maybe flagging to continue to break to the upside. But you see where the 15-minute 9 EMA is? It's right in our block there. So that's what I mean. If it sells down there, that might be a good opportunity to look for buys. If you're in a sell, that's a good opportunity to get out of your sell, realize your profit, because you're coming where there's could be big buyers waiting to buy that nice pullback. Okay. Okay, so we got a spin top candle right now, still in this zone. All of this consolidation. I'll get rid of this green box just so I don't confuse you. What I'll do is I'll just place a red line at that wick to show you where the most recent low is right there. 3,330 and 50 cents on the dot. Okay. Okay, nice candle. Opening, this is 1:15. Again, it hasn't closed with any volume above here, so this could be another impulse break. Okay, it's ignited. No, technically it's not ignited. It opened, had a small wick, but this could be an impulse break. Okay, so it came up there again. They rejected it back down. So now the candle's building again. Will it come back up there and refuel and break out of there? Sellers are pushing it down. Okay, so now we got U.S. discussed easing Iran sanctions from CNN. Okay, so now we got some, some Mideast talk right here. Okay, so that could impact the way how gold trades. Okay, so just make note, we got rejected up there. Okay, what's US 30 doing? Still, look at US 30, how tight it's trading in here. Okay. So it's still accumulating. It's been accumulating for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 1 hour now of accumulation. Okay, we got White House press secretary right here. Trump will rally Republicans to get the tax bill done. U.S.-Iran measures are an attempt to get back to negotiations. So now let's see if gold has a technical breakout here. No, again it came up there, and again they rejected it back down. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wicks right up here. Okay, so there is sellers present there. They are absorbing these buyers. The buyers are trying, but has a bar physically closed above there? Not yet. You're welcome, Tony. Yeah, you got some errands to do. Yep, I know those busy days. Have a great day today. You're in the gold buys, tiny lots. It's all good. Maybe hold for, maybe we get a technical breakout here. But thanks for joining us, Tony. I appreciate it. Have a great day today. Okay, so here's Fed's bar, what I talked about. Fed's bar repeats comments on U.S. economic outlook. Okay, so that's the FOMC member Barr speaking. There's what he is commenting on. Okay, so rejection. Still are holding this bullish volume. 2 minutes to go. Where will it close? Nobody knows until it actually closes. Okay, US 30 now coming down. Look at this. Now you got the M pattern on US 30. It's touching our trend line now, that parallel channel. Up, neckline, back up, lower high, body coming down, impulsively breaking. Let's keep an eye on US 30 too, guys. Okay, US 30 could close below there. There's a proper M pattern at the high of the day, protected with a lower high. Let's watch this thing now. Okay, so we're watching now gold and US 30. So there you see that parallel channel. Is this going to be the first bar that closes below it? We had that kind of impulse break right there, but came right back up and started that leg. So we got to watch US 30. Got to watch gold as well. Continue to try back up. Okay, let's see. Maybe we'll get a close up here. Okay, let's watch this. 60 seconds to go. Okay, we got now volume above there. We have a new higher high. Will this be our first candle bar to close with some physical bullish volume above there? Or will it be another impulse fake out? And US 30 also is breaking. Watch where that will close. Again, watch the size of the wick. Maybe you got an ignited bearish bar. If you're looking for a retest, the cut point, 50% of that bearish bar, it might come back up, get rejected, then go back down. So just keep an eye on 50%. Okay, last 25 seconds. Let's watch here. Well, let's watch. Both of them are real critical where they're closing. Okay, both of them. And make sure you check your spreads prior to trading. Make sure you double check spreads, everything. Make sure you check your security, all of that. Just do your double checks. Okay, didn't technically close above there. Okay, now we opened bearish. Now, is it coming down? Or get a higher low wick and flip. Okay, US 30. You see, it just impulsively came down there and back in our zone. Okay, so that's an invalid break. Okay, you got to still remain patient here. Okay, you got a bearish ignited bar. Is it going to push all the way deep down in here? Or the buyer's going to flip this, and then it might have that nice impulsive breakout. Okay, so there's a good retest coming back up. There's always a time and place when to take an impulse candle. Okay, it's continuing to build higher low, higher low, higher low. It'll probably fill those wicks and then continue to drive. Okay, so time and place when to take an impulse candle. There it broke, got to the high, it got rejected back down. Okay, look at it, got rejected back down. Will it fill up a third time? I'm watching this. I might be looking to buy this. Okay, I'm going to buy now. I'm going in. It came down 3 times. I know I'm in an impulse. I admit I took an impulse, but now I made up my mind. I'm in this. I'm going to also wait for the close. I'm placing my stop loss. You know, I could place it right below the consolidated zone right there, but I want to be protected by that wick right there. So I'm opening up my stop loss. I'm in a buy on gold, okay? I'm looking for it to maybe come back up to this point of interest, that structural area. But now with this momentum, maybe we break and we come up there to 3,337. So I'm in a scalp buy here. And then if this body closes with volume above here, I'm going to officially flip this red box green, okay? But I went in early, I understand, but you know, I'm a scalper, so sometimes I'm looking for these scalp moves. There's 6 pips, okay? We're not just looking for 6 pips. We definitely want to try and get up to there for approximately maybe 20 pips up there, and then we judge what happens if it gets up there, okay? So I'm in a gold buy. You know, I understand it could get rejected back down in this consolidated box. That's why my stop loss is strategically placed below that low wick. Okay, the candle has now flipped into a daily bullish pin bar. Okay, let's just look at US 32. US 30, it's barcoding, bullish still. So that was a fake move right there. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we got a nice bullish bar. That's about gonna get close to 10 pips right there. Okay, but you know, we're looking for at least to come up to this red line, about 20 pips up there. Okay, this might be technically our first candle that closes above here. So when that happens, if it does, we're going to flip this red zone green, because if it comes tumbling back down, we're looking for the buyers to be retested right here and to turn this into a support zone. Okay, And we got news coming out right now of everything. Trump is open to visit from Israel's Netanyahu. Have some patience on further Iran talks. Okay. So let's see the close in less than 2 minutes. Okay, so you see those Twizzler top highs held for a little bit, but we had a higher high, and higher lows off the bottom. So, that was a clue that the market was turning down, but nothing, sellers could not close it below structure. That's why I went in with the buy. There we go. Okay, so it could come right up to our point of interest, 20 pips. That's when, if you want, you can reduce your risk. You can go to break even. Yep, I'm going to do it on this call. I'm going to go to break even right now, up 20 pips. There we go. I'm at a break even right now. So worst case scenario is it just comes back down to a break even. I have no risk. But I'm a scalper, so at 20 pips, that's kind of what I look for. With a standard lot, that's $200. I could take out 80% if I like, stick to my 80-20 rule. But I'm at a break even, okay? So I have no risk in this trade currently, okay? Zero drawdown, 20 pips. This is how our trade started yesterday, and it ran for 65 pips, okay? So I told you, I was going in on an impulse because sometimes there's a time and place when to take impulses. These were not those times. This was. I watched how it continued to build. I saw the size of that wick. I saw that pull back into 50%. As soon as it broke, it came 3 times up to this wick and went back down, came up, went back down, came up. I program all of that in my brain every single time. I saw 3 times it went down, back up, down, back up, down. So it's like refueling a rocket and continuing to take off. So if you want 20 pips, that was a 20 pip target right to that red line. Where did I get that red line from? Back over here. I explained it earlier in the call. Okay. So you guys got to pay attention. I know I talk really fast on these calls, but you can pay attention. Okay. So here's the close in 5 seconds. Next bar, it could open bearish off of this wick and come down and tap me out. We got a bullish ignited open, flipped red. So that zone right now, we can go green, red to green. Okay. Hopefully it doesn't come all the way down there and take me out. I want to see maybe it builds a higher low wick to take out that. Okay, where's 50% of this big bullish candle? It's right there. Right there where I just placed my that red line. We just tapped into 50%. Still in this, still holding. I don't know if I can maintain it, but right in there. We retested 50%. We're holding. It's above where I entered. I'm still in this. Can this candle flip? Okay, scalpers do have a lot of break evens, guys, believe it or not, okay? Because we're looking for 10, 20 pips in a scalp, and then we go directly to a break even. If you don't do anything at 10, 20, 30 pips, that's on you. Like scalpers, they do stuff. That's why I say I have an 80-20 rule. I didn't do it there, and that's why I think this trade might come down and hit my break even. And then I gotta go back to the drawing board. Okay, so there, it's a break even trade right now. So it tapped me out at break even. But now we're retesting the green zone. I could go right back in a buy if I like, if everything looks good, okay? So that was an impulse break. You guys saw what I did. I explained it. Now I just got taken out at break even, okay? So that trade is a BE, but should show if you're looking to scalp the markets, that came 20 pips right even above my target right there. I didn't do anything. That's my fault. I apologize. I should have taken out 80% up there on my 20 pips and left 20% running. Okay? But I'm still watching what's going on here. Okay? So as it came down, retested the green box, got a higher low right at my entry. Oh, that could piss you off. Yes, it does. It pisses me off a lot. But also then you got to know if you're going to a break even, how fast you're going. Remember, I went to a break even as this candle got up there, and then the next bar just took me out, okay? But hopefully we're learning, learn from my mistakes. I have a tighter risk management than other traders, but that's teaching you a scalp on an impulse candle, okay? You don't expect too much out of an impulse candle breaking, but 20 pips, got to do some, okay? So gold is now, if it comes back down, okay, we moved away from this bullish flag. We broke. That's the first body that closed above. So now we might be getting our official retest right here. Okay, and then I could definitely continue to trade with this momentum. I could trade with it. Okay. US 30 man, it's just stuck inside here. Wow. Okay. So you got to be very patient with US 30 right now. Guys, did you guys understand my psychology of going into that buy? Maybe, some of you guys are here to learn as well. So hopefully I explained that properly to you guys when I said that there's a time and place when to take an impulse candle. Okay. There's an official retest now of our green zone. Remember, it was red for all of this time. There's now the retest. So you see how now it's confirmed on this bar that it's got some support there. And now the buyers are bringing it right back up, but we got to wait for the physical body, where and how it will close, because it's still got this bearish body on it. It's like a hanging man candle. Was anyone quick enough to do like a sniper entry on that? Like got it taken out anything, or you guys didn't do anything? Okay, but this is for you guys that are learning about retests. See how, you didn't have to go in on this candle. You could have bought right there, and then you're right back in the profit again. Captain Boom, yeah. Oh, you guys are still in it. Okay, maybe it's just me. Guys, you don't have to do exactly what I do here, okay? You guys do your own thing. Again, I just want to manage risk properly with you guys on here, because I know some of you guys on YouTube and Zoom kind of trade a little reckless at times. So it's always in the back of my mind whenever I'm trading live with some of you guys. My number one goal is, if I take a trade, is to try and get to break even. When we're up 20 pips, it's a good time to go to BE. Sometimes this happens, but I want to explain. If it goes to break even, it's all good. Okay? It's a life of a trader. You're going to see intraday trading go to break even. You're going to see scalps. You might even see a swing trade. You might be holding a swing trade for 200-300 pips and you don't do anything, and then you go to break even and then it comes back down and hits your break even. Okay? It's okay. Break evens, there's nothing wrong with it. Yes, you don't win, you don't lose. But when you're in profit, you should then start to learn some sort of disciplined plan when you're in profit. Okay? For scalpers, I'm talking for the scalpers now. 20 pips on a scalp is proper. Like, that's a proper scalp, especially if you nail it with zero drawdown. Okay? Then just do something. Take out 80% if you can. You look for 3 to 5 of those trades a day. You could be hitting daily goals, right? Okay, now we're pushing down. It might retest this multiple times. Okay, but that red line, remember what it was? It was a static line. That was like representing 50% of that bullish volume, and now it's holding as support. Maybe it will be a higher low. Maybe we're building off of that volume in that bullish candle at 120. See how it's holding now support? Will we continue to flip back up? But now we have a lower high, and then that one that broke this critical level right here. Okay. This could be a head and shoulder pattern for the later in today. Okay. We've already got our left shoulder in that accumulation box. This could be the breakout head, and then it could come trade right back in our consolidation zone, trade in there, flag, and then it's dropping down later this afternoon. So just stretch this into the future, because sellers could come back down in here. US 30, okay, US 30 is building again. So you see, when it got to the bottom of that parallel channel, little invalidation, they broke it, but the volume closed back in, came up, back down, came up, back down, ignited bar building again at our parallel channel, continuing to drive. Look at the daily candle of US 30. Oh my goodness. Like, if we have an impulse break, we could be targeting that dotted line up there, okay? If you want to know how much of a break US 30 could break for to get up to that dotted line, that's about 50 pips right up there. You could draw your own line up there, right there, okay? If it gets right to those dotted line, it could test that psychological parallel channel midpoint right up there. If it does get up there, okay? It came up again to the high of the day and got rejected back down. Okay, so we could be watching US 30 for maybe a continuation break of a new high of the day later this afternoon. And now it's 1:30, so now you have a 30-minute switch up in the market. Okay, so look, now multiple retests of the green zone. Higher low, still holding. Okay, so can the buyers flip this again? And we're continuing to drive back up. And then we got 2 retests of our green zone. Man, I wish I, woulda, shoulda, coulda. But that's trading, that's life. I could continue to buy if it does continue to respect this and continue to drive up. Okay. So you see now how that zone held support now. It was a red box, majority of our call, but that bar that just closed above, now you see a retest and a retest. We flipped it and it's showing support currently, but we cannot create any new higher highs as of yet, okay? Maybe if this candle builds, it will break for a new higher high. I could look to buy off of this. 1 more minute to go. Okay, might as well wait it out. If there's only 50 seconds to go, wait it out. Let's see where this candle will close. Okay, if it closes near the high, the next bar might open ignited and continue driving. Okay, it's a bullish pin bar right now. But are you guys good at understanding how this was resistance? That bar that closed above shows aggressive buyers. And now is this zone going to continue to maintain now support and flip the depth of market? So far it showed support, but we still have bearish volume coming down. Okay, so here's closing 5 seconds. Okay, so bearish bar, again, got below that red line. So it looks like sellers are strong here. Ignited, okay? So it came right into our green box again. Caught a quick wick. Will it flip back up? Okay, will it continue to hold here? Or are they going to break it down and start coming into our consolidated zone again? And we have a red line for point of interest right here too. Right at 50% of that bullish candle, still holding right here. So let's see, is it going to hold a third attempt in here? Okay, it's got a nice wick. Will the candle flip bullish and then continue to drive back up? This is where I could look for a possible continuation buy. Okay, I'm going to go back in. I'm going to enter back in. My stop loss, I'm in a buy. I'm going to place my stop loss. Maybe I wanted to go a little tighter on my stop, but I'm going to bring it again below that red line. Okay, that red line is that wick right there. Again, I'm going to target to see now if we can fill back up to our red line and break up to there with these multi-retests of this zone. And that's my stop down there. If it comes down here, it has to breathe in here. I want to see if the buyers will pick it up right here. But hopefully maybe we can drive with this. So you see now I'm buying the third pullback in this green zone. And I'm looking again to get it back up to fill to that red line. That would be about 15, 16, 17 pips. And then if we get that break, 25 pips would be right there. Top would be approximately 35 pips up there, okay? So I'm back in a buy, okay? The first one got up 20 pips, came back, hit my break even. So it's kind of scratch. Now I'm back in. Okay, but I still don't see a higher high yet. So it's a lower high, lower high, lower high. So it's, it is technically got this trend pushing down. We've got to see if we can break for a new high. Okay, break for a new high. Maybe come back, and then drive. Okay, so we got to we're in this little downtrend right now where we're pushing down, but let's see if we can break through this. Maybe we got more pending buyers activated. This will be my final trade of this session, guys, because I had to wrap it up at 2 p.m. So we're going to go for another 20 minutes. We'll see what happens in this trade. US 30. Okay, US 30 now. It did technically close right at the high, the purple line. It did open bullish, pop the wick, and we're driving. So we have a new daily high right now. But maybe you want to wait for a pullback on US 30. Where's the pullback? Cut that body right there in half, and maybe you get a pullback entry around 43,358. I'm going to place an alert there just in case it comes down there. Maybe catch a pullback buy on that. Okay, let's see what gold is doing here. Okay, so 60 more seconds to go into the close. Can we break through this little trend line, this bearish trend line that we got going down? Okay, US 30. Okay, so it came up there, impulsively broke, got rejected back down. That's what I mean. Let's see if it will pull back into about 50% of that bullish body in there. Okay, gold, can we break through for a new physical high back above here? Okay, I'm also looking if this body will engulf this previous body. Will it close above it? Who knows? Maybe we get an ignited bullish bar. I can see a short wick, and we could definitely fill right back up to there and drive. But it's going to be how this closes in the next 25 seconds. So the last 30 seconds shows who has momentum going into the close. Will it be the buyers or the sellers? Okay, so here's the close in 5 seconds. It came up, back down. Okay, so it didn't engulf, but we still got above 50% of that bearish volume. So this one opened, ignited, bearish, pushing down. Can we come into about 50% and hold? We got a higher low wick right now. So it's a very, very shallow pullback. It's only the first 10, 20 seconds of the open of the candle, but it is holding a higher low. So can we fill the wick, fill that wick, continue to drive, and get up to, back up to our target right here, okay, to that high, and see what happens from there, okay? So there we go. We broke a high. We broke that trend, okay? We had 3 multiple retests of this green zone, but it's coming up and getting pushed down. You guys remember we're trading in a much larger, higher time frame resistance area. This is that bigger red box, okay? So it's not easy for these little 5-minute candles to get through here. They're trying. The buyers are definitely trying, but we have to respect that there is sellers here. So if the buyers can really ask to trade above 3,335, start asking above here, we could cause a momentary short squeeze in the market, and gold could continue to drive up to here, okay? But we've got to continue to accumulate near these highs. Okay, we've got a nice daily candle with us. We got a daily bullish pin bar. Okay, that's what we want. Okay, so measuring now, your measuring tape. Okay, if it gets up there again, it's going to be 20 pips. If it gets up there, 20 pips again, maybe that's where I don't want to make the same mistake. You know, if I go to a break even again, that's maybe where I'll take out 80%, you know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But you guys please manage the trade yourselves, okay? I'll try and get to a break even when maybe we break out of here for 20 or 25 pips, if it in fact does. All of these other zones, continue to stretch them into the future, because definitely it could come back and play out down here. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping we have enough momentum to break this. We had 1, 2, 3 nice retests of our green zone. Hopefully they collected enough pending orders to continue to take this and create a new high in the market. See how easy it is to scalp for 10 pips? If you guys are looking for 10 pips, it's not that difficult. This is a 15 pip, kind of 10, 15 pip move, you know, but we're trying to milk a little more than 20 here, okay? US 30, yeah. We got a body close. So what I would do with US 30 is this zone. I would make it where it was resistance. Now I'd make it support. I would drop it down to 50% of that bullish candle. Any pullback buys you could locate inside that green box. Okay, so US 30, strong move, breaking out of here. Okay, easy. That was a kind of clue candle right there that broke that invalidated and continued to drive back up. Gold, okay, come on. Okay, let's see if we can break this high up here. But also what I look for is I got a point of interest right here, a body and a wick right here. Can we close with 5-minute volume above here, right here? Remember, we got to build structure, okay? So right here, we got a body of volume, a wick. We just impulsively kind of broke, but with that lower high right there, and now coming back down. Can we close with a little bit of volume above this red line? That 3,300 and what is it? 34 and 60 cents. So can we get bullish volume above there? If it fails, then the next bar might open bearish and come back down. Okay, so this is important. Can the buyers close with volume above this critical 5-minute point of interest? Okay, let's watch closely because we got 1 minute to go in this candle. Do you guys understand what I'm looking for? I'm looking for volume to close above this red line because I want to build off of this red line. I want a quick little wick retest and continue to drive. This is so important if the buyers can close above this because we haven't had bullish volume above here yet. Okay, it's been resistance. So you see where the volume is kind of concentrated right at this red line. It's at this where these bodies of volume are. That's a good push, but let's see in the last 25 seconds, can we capitalize on this or are sellers just going to come in and pound this thing down? Okay, so this is real important. That's why I'm zooming in. Andrew, welcome. Thanks for joining. Okay, so let's pay attention to the close. We want bullish volume above here, okay? Notice the size of the wick too, okay? Okay, there's the close. Opened, ignited. Quick retest the red line if we come back down, okay? Watch, okay? We close with a little bit of volume. Let's see if it will create some quick support right here on this candle. Right where my cursor is. Can we get a wick? Right there, right there. Can we get a wick and move up? There's the wick, okay? But we have, I wouldn't say that this is a short wick. It's still a rather large wick, but we could possibly fill that and take out that high and create a new higher high. See, let's see if this red line continues to hold. We have a doji candle. Okay, see the buyers are not here asking to trade up here. So maybe it wants to come back down, but let's see if we can continue to hold this red line area. Okay, if we can't hold it, then unfortunately we're going to come back down to where I entered and possibly back down to the green zone down in here. Okay, but let's see if we can catch a wick. You know, I'm still looking at 50% of that volume of that candle, okay? It didn't hold our red line, but maybe it can hold right around here. Okay, so it's now just drove into 50% of the bullish candle and we flipped really nicely. Okay, now can we flip our candle to a hammer and then continue to drive and fill our wicks? Right now, still lots of resistance up here. Our daily candle is looking good. We're gotta just continue to maybe ask to trade above here, 3,335, 36 area. See what US 30 is doing. Okay, so US 30 continued to drive. Again, if you got any pullbacks, what was the previous high of the day purple line? Maybe now it's going to be a support line. If it comes all the way down back into here, you could look for maybe a pullback buy on US 30. You got to wait patiently for it, but that's the name of the game in trading. Patience pays. Okay, can our volume continue to build? Maybe we message Dave to buy up here. Someone message Dave. Dave trades with those big lots. Message Dave. Say, Dave, put some pending buy limits at 3,336. Someone quickly message Dave. So our candle's closing in a minute 40. See that there's no new higher highs, but we're still building higher low. Okay, so it's still technically building. We do still have volume above our red line. Okay, so you got to take the good, the bad, and the ugly with every setup. Okay, but still we got buyers who are interested still up here. That's good. We haven't broke down any real structure. Okay, all we got to just do is fill and close strong. That's it. If we can take out this high, I think we could squeeze the short sellers all the way up to here. Samuel, this trade is training your patience. I understand. Yep. But that's what will make you that much better of a trader. You got to learn candlesticks and you got to learn patience. So if we can learn candlesticks and patience at the same time, we're killing two birds with one stone. It's all good. Okay, so we got a good pullback. I didn't get technically that red line, a little lower, but 50% of the volume still held. Now we're pushing up. Now can we just, those are tweezer top highs. I want it break. There we go. Okay, finish in the last 30 seconds. This is the last 30 seconds of a candle. This is your 24-second shot clock in a basketball game. This is the big moment. Here we go. Okay, so it created a new high. Do you see how that wick printed before the volume got there? That's kind of manipulated, but it's it's what it is. Okay, so we're up 20 pips again. Last time what I did was when I was up 20 on that buy, I went to a full break even. So what I'm going to do now is reduce my risk, but I'm going to go right below the green zone. Okay, so I've reduced my risk substantially. I still have, I can lose 9-10 pips. I'm okay with that. But I didn't go to a break even. Okay, now we closed above, volume above a new high. Again, that red line, that wick now could act as support. We got a short wick. We could continue to drive now. This is where we could cause a short squeeze. All of these sellers, stop losses, got to be up here. But look at the squeeze from this morning. What about these intraday traders over here? What if they were selling and their stops are up here? So this is where we could really possibly move up to this location up there, okay? But please, guys, manage your trade, okay? I've reduced my risk. Remember, it was below this red line. Didn't even come close. Again, this trade was with minimal drawdown. Okay, I bought on this candle. So again, no drawdown. Now what I've done is I've reduced my stop loss from there. I'm still with a stop loss, but now it's below the green zone. Okay, so I'm risking 10 pips. I'm up maybe getting close to 25. That could be a 1 to 2.5 on your money. Not bad. Okay, but if we want the full load of the zone up there, we're looking for 35 pips to fill this entire imbalance and to get all the way up here. Okay, but you got to understand we are still counter trading. Okay, if you look at the overall bigger picture, okay, gold when we hit the high of the day, it came down, it went back up, lower high, came down, went back up, kind of two double tops up there. They pushed it back down, and now we're coming back up, but still, got that big sellers are present there. Okay. Risk-free trade. Excellent, Andrew. Good job. Yeah. I'm not risk-free yet. I still got about 10 pips of risk. That's okay. I'm okay with that. Okay. But hopefully we can get to target. If it just drives a little bit more, like up 30, 35 pips, then I'll definitely go to break even and I'm going to scale out 80%. Okay. So I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to take out 80% now. Okay, we got a nice bullish hammer. I'm taking out 80%, and now I'm going with the break even with my remaining 20%. Okay, I want to make some money on this call. Okay, so I took out right there 25 pips. I grabbed 80%. I got now the rest at break even. Okay, so we got into 2 scalps today. One went up 20 pips, came back to break even. The next one, you see what I did, guys? I continued to stay with the trend. I didn't get rattled. I saw it came 1, 2, 3 time retest, and then that's that candle I bought, and we're continuing to drive. Okay, so the first one, I was teaching you how to take an impulse trade. a time and place for it. And then I showed you the second trade. I showed you a retest of this zone. Okay, so kind of showed you a lot in today's call. I hope you guys learned something. You know, if you did, hit the likes on YouTube. Let us know how things are going, right? But hopefully we can continue to bank on this. Like, that's what runners are for too. Zoom, did you guys understand everything? Did I explain it properly? Let me know. Did you guys understand why I went in, the first trade, second trade, all of that? Is there anything that you guys need me to clarify for you guys? And don't forget tomorrow, guys, we got a big pre-New York session starting at 6 a.m. Eastern. We're going to go till about 9:30 because I have another secret. You see where Kobe Bryant is on this wall right here? There's going to be something that's going up there. It's for education. It's going to be fun. Samuel, you've been finally piecing together and executing with being calm. Excellent. That's what trading is, guys. Amir, solid day. Good. Welcome back, Amir. Welcome. It's nice to see you, hear from you. Okay, guys? So that's why I do take out 80% up there, okay? Because, you know, markets go up and they come down. I don't want to get greedy. I'm happy with 25 pip trades. I'm happy with 20 pip trades. Sometimes I'm happy, I'm content, and I'm humble with 10 pips. You know, it's just, you got to have a plan. So I had a plan with this trade and I executed it, okay? So now if it comes all the way back down, the only 20% remaining is at a break even. That's why I took out 80%. I told you guys verbally what I did there, okay? So things like this happen. It's part of trading. But when you do go up in a little bit of profit, make sure you are following some sort of plan. If you didn't do anything, then you got to go through the motions again. Okay, now the market could come back down in this green box. Yes, in fact, it could come back up, but now you have a really bearish bar coming down. So it could really start to break this, invalidate this box, and start pushing down. So you see now the buyers are stepping back in with a bullish pin bar. But now you have that relatively large bearish candle that engulfed this one and this one, though, are what we were in. So are the buyers going to bring it back up? If they do, kind of got to cut that big bearish candle in half right about there. And you see where it is? It's, again, right near this location. Body, 50%. If it comes, it just came up, they rejected it back down. So there, in fact, is my 20% break even. But I'm thankful that I took out 80% at 25 pips, guys, because I didn't want to make that mistake a second time, okay? Hopefully that helped. Again, I hope we had a great call. So just going over news this afternoon. If you're going to continue trading, 2:30, another 30 minutes, ECB President Lagarde speaks. Right before the futures session, you got some news coming out of Japan. If you're trading the yen, if you're trading anything in there, just be careful. Earnings, not much going on with earnings over here. What else we've got going on? Guys, there's a free Telegram channel pinned at the top of YouTube for you guys. You're welcome to join it. And if you want to join SST, we'd love to have you on here. Live Zoom calls. All the education, the Discord channel, trade ideas, all of that. Our free blog is right over here for you guys. We're going to get more into this. I apologize, I've been slacking a little bit on this with the education. It's my fault, guys. I've just been busy with a few renovations around the house. Wife's got me doing some summer renovations. I'll tell you one secret: a happy wife is a happy life. Make sure you guys understand, when the wife is asking for renos, you got to do it, okay? You got to keep her happy. But don't tell her about the smoke vent that I got in here. Nobody snitch me out, okay? That's our little secret between us, okay? Because you might see Ron smoking a little smoky here once in a while, okay? And then you guys get to really see who I am, okay? I gotta get out of here, guys. I gotta go to Home Depot. I got a few things to buy, and gotta get the kids some presents for their teachers. It's the last day of school today. So hope you had a great session. Tomorrow morning, Friday, 6 a.m. Eastern, sharp, we're gonna get started for pre-New York. Shout outs to Dave and the entire team here. Borex, Scotty, Carlos, Rob Mack, everyone holding it down in the Discord. All of you amazing members. Family here. Continue, guys. Share your charts in there. Share your knowledge with each other. Have some fun trading. And that's the beauty of trading. Have fun when do what you're doing. Okay, guys? So you see now, sellers are bringing it right back down into here. So that's as high as we went, and now it's right back down, okay? So we'll see. Maybe the market flips sentiment going into the close later today, next few hours, okay? So you see today's daily candle tells us a lot. It's a lot of indecision on today's daily candle, okay? We got sellers selling, we got buyers buying, and look at right now, we're going to end the call and we're right back to our opening price. It's like virtually we opened and we're right back here. So there was quite a bit of swings, but the market on the daily is still undecided. Now it's a technical 50-50 coin flip. So sellers could come back down. If it does, we have a zone right here, 3,328. That's why I have an alert in there. If it comes down into this one, 3,321, I have an alert in there. If it comes down to where everything started this morning, you could have a zone down there too. You could have a alert in there. Also, if it continues to come up and you want to sell, you should have an alert right there. You should have an alert right there. These are your areas for your proper setups. Instead of trading all this consolidation, you could trade at these specific zones, you know, and you just got to be patient and let the volume come to you. That's all it is. Just a recap of US 30. Okay, we broke out and then look, it came right back in, right into here. You know, so it's got to continue build, but a lot of selling momentum right back in. There's news coming out of here. So look at Fed's Collins. July is probably too early for a rate cut. This just came out at 154. This was 5 minutes ago. So a lot of this momentum came out right here. Fed Collins. Baseline outlook is to resume cutting later this year. Fed Collins. The Fed has time to carefully evaluate incoming information. So maybe they're hinting that maybe a rate cut coming in the next FOMC. But this is not Powell. This is Collins talking. So Powell, he's the boss. We'll see what he says. That candle closed below, green box goes red. Okay, just follow the motions. If this continues to go, we're selling down in here. Okay, if it comes back up and closes above here, you could get that next bullish move. Okay, and gold is completely retraced back down. Could break down and go down a little further, and then could be a nice buying opportunity right back down in here if you're not selling. All our time zones are EST, Eastern Time Zone. So for us right now, it is 2 p.m. Eastern. So when I say 6 a.m., I mean 6 a.m. Eastern, pre-New York, okay? Guys, I had a great call. I got to head out. I got a few things to do. Got to run some errands. I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Have a fantastic Thursday evening. If you guys trade the futures, have fun. You never know. Maybe I'll pop up at any time. Hit those notifications on YouTube. Subscribe, like the channel. And guys on Zoom, anytime I pop up, you guys will know firsthand. I'll give you guys a heads up prior to anybody, okay? Have a good day, everyone. Hope you learned something new, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.
Hey guys, good morning, welcome to the live session of Stocks Network Trading. My name is Dave, guys, my partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US 30, sell, okay? I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please, secure.